What's going on, EDC people, and what's our journey today? We're here to talk about the Finch Model 1929. One of my quickly becoming one of my favorite knives to carry and use. This particular one is the second model I bought. Well, the second model I have. The first one was sent to me, and that was this one. This is the, I believe they call it the Bark, which is like the black-gray micarta. Beautiful, nice knife. But I just had to have when the designer of the knife called out to me the jigged bone pattern. I had not seen that before. Sorry about the random bumping. There's mosquitoes all over, and that's me slapping them off me. But take a look at this jigged bone one. Here's the micarta one over here, but take a look at this jigged bone one. I mean, isn't that absolutely stunning? Fit and finish on it is absolutely beautiful. It was purchased from C. Rissner. I'll put the website down here. But I just think that that's gorgeous. Let me zoom in on it so you can get a better view. If you like my content, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm trying to grow. I'm going to do a nice big giveaway when I get to 500. It's not that far. It's just around the corner. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Oh, and boobies. TPK's logo. But take a look at this jigged bone. Okay. So, that having been said, let's talk about the specifics on the Model 1929. First of all, here's the Crawdad one I got. So on the back it says Crawdad Tan Jigged Bone, blade steel 154 cm. That's kind of the color of it, Model 1929. Here's what all comes with it, and I'll stop shaking the whole table. Let me open the box. Okay. So you get the very cool Model 1929 sticker. I believe it's different in color than the one I got with this one. I'm gonna have to check on that. You get the Flip and the Finch sticker, which is awesome. You get the Finch warranty card, which is in every box, just like the Flip and the Finch sticker. You get the Band-Aid, which is just charming and I think funny. The bag that the knife comes in, which is always a nice touch. A fitted foam seal. The knife comes in the bag in the fitted seal, so it's nice and secure, and it's really nice packaging, really nice hard packaging. So it comes in good packaging. No expense spared with any of this stuff, which is great. That's what you want. Cool sticker, nice warranty card. The Band-Aid makes it feel like a nice kind of like homey touch. Not homey, but you know what I mean. One thing I would say to them is, if they're gonna stay in this like GEC modern day slip joint kind of genre, you know what I mean? Maybe they could take the money on this, which is very nice, and it shows where they are. Stillwell, Kansas. Keep life from getting dull. Very, very nice. I mean, if they're not going to change anything, that's fine. This box is great. But one thing that they could consider is going to the tube system, kind of like the Rough Rider Reserve and GEC. They could wrap them in wax paper and have them in tubes and have all these different variants of scales, kind of like GEC does, and it would become more of a collector's thing, like the Model 1929 sticker, but also the 1919, oh my god, I can't speak, the Model 1929 tube, just like GEC. Not to copy their concept, oh my gosh, if I bang this table one more time, not to copy their concept necessarily, but it's a good idea for these knives. It just makes it that much more personal, and these Finch knives have such a cool personal story behind them that I think it would go great with it. So these are the two models of the 1929 that I have. I absolutely love this knife. I had to have two because I don't want one to go bad or something bad to happen to one and I not have the other. But I have to say that overall this one just takes my heart. Okay, so I think I started talking about specifications and then lost track, and I keep whacking the table. So length, the blade length is 2.5 inches. Okay. This is coming off of the Finch website, just so you know. I took it right from there, just so there was no doubt. Some of the measurements we'll do here to double check, but the blade length is 2.5 inches. The handle is 3.5 inches to make a total of 6 inches. My little ruler here, I believe, is exactly 6 inches. So look at that. Pretty much, yes. 6 inches. Okay. So we know that. Alright. The weight. I did not grab the weight from the website. I lied to you. Alright, let's see. In ounces. This is the jigged bone one. We'll weigh both of them. 3.236 ounces. Which is 91.73 grams. The Micarta is 88.87 grams and 3.135 ounces. So it's, as expected, it's a little bit lighter than the jigged bone, but not by much. Nothing of any significance, really. Man, I like the way that looks, though. That looks so old-fashioned, but so cool. Now, it's small, 3.5 inches for a handle. That's just barely my palm size, I believe. But, with that Finch grip that I've brought up before, where the flipper tab has jimping on it that spins around and gives you that Finch grip, you can get a full grip on this knife. At least I can. I do have smaller hands. I can also basically get a full grip even under that. So I really do like this knife a lot. 154 cm, model 1929. Stainless steel bolster, stainless steel liners, 154 cm blade steel, which is very cool. The clip on all of the Finch knives that I'm aware of anyways are titanium. That includes this model. Let's get back to some more specifications. So that was the weight. Told you about the Finch grip. It does have a sharpening choil, which I find good for stropping. I have not really had to sharpen them yet. But it looks like the plunge grind and the sharpening choil were done pretty well on it. So no complaints there, but I have not sharpened it yet, really. So I reserve judgment still, and I'll talk about that further when I do sharpen it. Let's see here. Let's take out this guy here. Okay, so the blade stock on the Crawdad is 0.1065 inches. I can't imagine it would be any different. Well, wait a second here. The blade does change length. What am I talking about? Let's go, I'll tell you what, let's go right at the peak of that thing. 0.11. Okay, so that's 0.11. I mean, it's so close that I'm sure that it's just a measurement. Me taking it wrong. I'm sure it's 0.11 across the blade thickness, handle thickness in inches. Yep, I'm grabbing the thing. Is 0.47 on the Crawdad. 0.47 on the Micarta. So that's the same. The Micarta, I will tell you, it's not like a soft, fuzzy Micarta. It is more of an epoxy-filled Micarta. It's fine. It looks nice. It's beautiful. It will slowly change, with patina. Even my Holliday, which is the red Holliday, the red Micarta Holliday, which in fact, I have really got to stop banging this table. Maybe if I pull up a little closer here. Okay. Here's the red Holliday I have. Another knife I love from Finch, but the Micarta, again, I love it. So I have another one just like this that the Micarta got burned on. And long story short, I was trying to make some photos and a sparkler lit it on fire. But anyways, my point of this is that it's more of a plasticky micarta, but it's not. It doesn't feel cheap to me. It feels like it's just more epoxy than fuzz. You know what I mean? Like there's just more epoxy, and I don't really have a problem with that. And then that obviously doesn't apply with the jigged bone. In fact, let me just get rid of this. I was going to do the Runtly first, just because it was kind of their first knife, but I have to say, after falling in love with the Model 1929, I really just had to do it first. Now, moving on, 154 cm blade steel, very cool. Back to before I forget the Runtly, I do have some questions and answers from Spencer himself, from you guys, that you gave me to ask Spencer, and so when I do the Finch video, I will include that, but I'm jumping ahead and doing this because I really, really like them. Handle, I think I mentioned stainless steel liners and bolsters. Many models, patterns, like I said, this one I believe is the bark micarta, which is just a black and gray micarta. Very cool, looks pretty much black right now. And we'll see how that patinas in time. And this is again the Crawdad Jigged Bone, Crawdad Tan Jigged Bone finish. There's also that Nightcrawler, which is just the saw cut bone. That looked really cool too. I just might have to get it. Is there anything else on my specification notes that I wanted to pass along? Flat grind. Oh, of course the grind. I mean, not the grind, but the finish on the blade is horizontal. That pulled satin finish that I love so much makes it look like it's either hand ground or just pulled satin. And either way, it's a nice finish and a nice touch, and I think it looks really nice on the knife. It gives it just that much more. It's that much more attention to it. The ergos on it are oddly great. I've already said that, my hand is small, but it fits the entire knife. And then if I go into that Finch grip to get a little bit closer, of course I can fit all my fingers on. It is slightly small, but it's really perfect for EDC, honestly. I mean, how big do you want to carry for an EDC knife? I'll give you an example right off the top. I'm carrying a PM2. Here is the PM2 compared to this knife, both open, closed. Here's what I'll do. Okay, so like, I'll put it, let's see. I'll try to put it pivot to pivot. It's not really pivot to pivot. Okay. So just to give you like an idea of how big, well, not how big the knife is, but how little it is. But how perfect it is, because the PM2 is also vastly oversized, but it's a comfort thing. And okay, we'll move on from that. The clip, the clips are all titanium on the Finch knives, no exception on the Model 1929 in any of their patterns. It works, and it works well, actually. The best clip, I think, from Finch is from on the Holliday. It's again, it's a titanium. It's the only one that I think is different, really, or different significantly, where it's kind of like got a triangle here, and it's just a little bit looser, and it just seems to fit a little bit better over the seam of my pants. But this works, so you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What can I say? 2 screws going into the clip. There's 2 standoffs. I'm sure it's the same on both models. Yep. Very simple, you know, you can call it a bolster lock or a liner lock, but that's what that little wedge is. That's nothing, no damage to it. That's the lock itself. You can see the liner push right over. And the bone slash scale acts as a natural stop, which is very cool. There is a detent ball. I have not taken it apart to see if there's a detent track. Let's see if we can see one, or if we can see what's inside there. So there's the detent ball right there, very, very visible. But does it hit a track? Can I see it? Especially if okay, it does look from here like there's a detent ramp. I can't quite see it without disassembling it, and I don't want to do that right now. It's still new. I want to let it break in. I have oiled him, all the Finch knives, but I want to let them break in naturally, and they're doing so really just so perfectly. So take a look. I'm going to get rid of this. Take a good look at these two models. I haven't seen one model of any, or any pattern of any model that I haven't liked from Finch. Here's the new the two 1929s that I have. Take a good look at the finish on both of them, you know, so that you can make a good decision when you make your purchases. I'm sure that the saw cut bone is a little bit more like this, but I absolutely love the jigged bone. It's just old school, and it's almost like a worry stone for me. I love that. I love just rubbing the scale in my pocket. I know that sounds kind of strange, but yeah, anyways. But since I have two of the exact same models, I wanted to show them to you side by side, because to show you that not only, you know, the consistency is there, that gunk there is probably just me over oiling and then it's pocket scum. But the consistency is there, the build quality is there, the quality assurance or quality control seems pretty nice. I have no complaints on either of these. What do you guys think? Do I have any other notes to tell you guys? Action, clearly it's a flipper. I already told you that. Finch grips on there. I love the acoustics on it. I really do. It's not just the bone one. It's any of them, even the Holliday. It sounds great. The stainless steel is going to repel scratches better than titanium would, so having that as the bolster material doesn't really upset me. It doesn't need to be a super high price point to have titanium materials when it can be simple stainless steel and do its job better. And that is just pocket lint on the over oiling I do. Let me just wipe that off. Yeah, that was the sharp end of the blade. Whoops. Okay. And I missed it. Okay, that's gonna bug me. Sorry, guys. I don't even know if I can get it, really. Oh, I think that is a dried up drop of oil, which is not going to be easy to get out right this second. Whatever. Anyways, the action, I mean, this blade isn't heavy like the Runtly, where the Runtly's blade is heavy, so when you press over that liner lock or bolster lock, it drops, and it drops nicely, so the action is kind of inevitable. On the Holliday and the 1929, the blades are lighter, so it's a little more iffy. The 1929 is longer, but thinner, so it's kind of like sometimes you have to wiggle it a little bit more. This one feels great. You do have to wiggle it, but look how good it is, just with a little oil and a couple days of play. And this one here has had more play than that one, so you know, I think, look how far, it falls perfectly right to your finger and then down. And if I shook it enough, I'm sure it would go right down, right to my finger. It's hard to do in front of a camera, but whatever. So, what do you think of the Finch 1929? Here's again the Spyderco PM2, just to give you a size comparison, which is unreal and unrealistic when I show them. What do you guys think of it? I'm trying to see if I have any notes that I missed. 154 cm. I've discussed it before. I like the seal a lot. The clip is titanium on all the Finch models. I've mentioned that probably 3 times now. The ergos are oddly great. The clip is oddly workable. I wish it was a little easier like the Holliday version, but such is life. My biggest suggestion, which is packaging, isn't even really a problem. The packaging they have is great. So my suggestion to them is probably going to fall on deaf ears because the packaging is already good, but I really think if they did that, it would draw just that much more to it. And if they could somehow use the money spent on this packaging, which is obviously quite a bit because this is a nice packaging, maybe they could make it work. But that having been said, these are the knives. These are the Finch 1929s. Love them either equally to the Holliday or just that much more. What do you guys think of them or any other Finch knives? Let me know down below. I'm in Finch love right now. And then of course I carry a Spyderco or a Benchmade every day, and because of the resolution with Slicey Dicey, I'm carrying the Maximum PM2, which is actually a knife I've never had. I've never had a PM2. I've had a pair of 3, but never a PM2. So I'm going to actually do a review on that too at some point. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. I hope this was a good video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. I'm trying to grow.